Inventions of the 19th Century by Dorian Ramos. In this lesson, I'm going to be talking about some of the inventions that left a big mark during the 19th century for other people during that time, and how of those we can show how things can improve. The first industrial revolution began in the 18th century with the development of the steam engine, which replaced animal power. New inventions and machinery made light works for fewer hands. Printed materials became more easily accessible, and science and rational thought replaced the authority of religion. The 19th century inventions of usable electricity, steel, and petroleum led to a second industrial revolution. Railways grew and steamships became faster. It was the age of machine tools that made part for other machines, leading eventually to assembling line manufacturing. One invention that was created during the 19th century was the telephone. The telephone was invented because people was trying to improve the capabilities of the telegraph. The purpose of this instrument was designed for the simultaneous transmission and reception of the human voice, and also because it was hard to communicate from far distances. In the late 19th century, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. He was actually not the first one to come up with the idea, though work was being done on different kinds of telephone as early as the 17th century. Those early telephones were primitive as compared to Bell's devices. The first kind of telephones were known as mechanical acoustic devices, as they transform audio energy into electrical energy. These devices just transported voice mechanically via pipes and other media. While Bell was conducting experiments based on his theory, he hit a breakthrough. With his harmonic telegraph, he realized that he could hear a sound over the wire. The sound was a clock spring tugging. And just about a year later, Graham achieved tremendous success. So this invention changed a lot of people's lives, and they started demanding more and more and more. So everyone in that era had and needed a phone. The demand of the telephone was way too high. They decided to build telephone lines all around the neighborhoods. The telephone was nothing like the telegram. In the telegram, you had to wait hours. Like on the other hand, with the telephone, people needed to be every second checking what we're doing. So they started creating the telephone bureau exchange where people would answer and transfer them to other places or with people they want to talk to. And with this bureau, they even had their own little stores where they went shopping telephones and they could talk from England or London to San Francisco, for example. Long distance was a big thing during that time. The credit for the invention of the electric telephone is frequently disputed, and the new controversies of the issue have arisen from time to time. Antonio Meucci, Alexander Graham Bell, and Elisha Gray, amongst others, have all been credited with other telephone's invention. The early history of the telephone became and still remains a confusing morass of claims and counterclaims, which were not clarified by the huge mass of lawsuits to resolve the patent claims on many individuals and commercial competitors. The Edison and Bell patents, however, were commercially decisive because they dominated telephone technology and were upheld by court decisions in the United States. So everyone contributed or were fighting against who or what and when they created the telephone. Even though the modern telephone is the result of work of many people, Alexander Graham Bell was, however, the first to patent the telephone as an apparatus to transmitting vocal or other sounds telegraphically. Until this day, we still use phones. It was a great invention that many people contributed with, and it still is.